Jared, this guy is just crushing it. Not just in the dating space for men, but also for anyone who wants to transform their mindset, their beliefs. And he's doing it with integrity and doing it the right way. And it's just super freaking inspiring. So you definitely want to stay tuned to this interview because he has a lot of gold, a lot of value to be adding to you. Before we dive into that though, I want to say thank you for choosing to be your greatest possible self, for showing up, for taking one step at a time, for being on the journey of loving yourself, of communicating effectively, consciously, and sparking that romance in your life. Whether you're on your own, you're seeking a partner, or you're with a partner, keep showing up, keep choosing to be your GPS. Next, I want to share the iTunes review of the week with you. This week it is Anthony A93 who says, Chris the man burns. Every podcast episode gets better and better. Not only that, you can tell how present and interested Chris is in each of the experts he brings on the show. Anthony, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that review. If you want a chance to get shouted out on a future 12-hour live stream, because I love celebrating people and acknowledging people, go to beergps.com/iTunes or search Greatest Possible Self on the Apple Podcast Store. You can leave a review there, and thank you in advance for doing that. I'm going to introduce Jared in just a sec. Before that, grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, be ready to take notes. I know this dude is going to drop some fire on us, some wisdom, some value bombs. It's going to be epic, so definitely stick around all the way through to the end because one of these ideas has the power to change everything for you. Jared Psych Laurence is an international motivational speaker, the CEO of Modern Flirting, and the author of How to Meet Your Dream Girl Tonight, and the Psychology of Modern Flirting. He's a trained therapist as well as a globally recognized lifestyle consultant and dating mentor. He's been featured in seminars and popular media, including on MTV, Oxygen, ABC, A&E, Social Hacker Summit, and World Dating Coach Summit. And for nearly 15 years, Jared has been voted the best new dating mentor, received numerous awards from others in his industry, taught over 10,000 students from around the world, and is credited with preventing 17 suicides and creating over 40 marriages, including his own marriage of 7 years. And that's just the tip of the iceberg with this legend. And we are going to be bringing the heat. Jared, we're bringing you on the screen right now, man. Are you ready to bring it?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Boom. We're live, bro. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to have a blast, man. Let's dive right in. The theme today is communication, dating, and romance. What does that mean for you, Jared?
It means everything to me because I came from a place where I couldn't communicate. I couldn't find a girl to save my life. And not having that ability to communicate, not having that ability to feel like a man, to feel worthy, to feel validated as a person, honestly, led me down a really dark place, a really dark spiral. I was taking antidepressants. I was taking hypnosis sessions to get over this. And it's just a part of life that is so hush-hush and quiet. And people don't realize just how important this is. Yeah. Where I just truly hate it. My password to my this is way back in the AOL account was "Life sucks." Like, that was my password. Wow. And learning communication skills, going out and learning psychology, learning how people interact, learning how we do things, and not just the hippie woo advice and like, be yourself and let things flow and whatever. Like actually nitty gritty. Like, all right, show me the data. What does it say? Let's experiment. I've done like a million different experiments, and people use this term way too loosely, but it absolutely changed my life, like for the better. Like it was life changing. And when I realized what it could do for me, I set off on a path to see how can I help others, go through that same transformation the way I did, because it wasn't easy.
Gold. Dude, I love it. I love it, man. It means everything to you. Like your life has literally revolved around this for like the last 15 years. And what a shift. Yeah. What a shift though. Like from, I know what it's like to feel like so insecure, insignificant. I don't matter. Like couldn't talk to women to save my life. Like my best friend had to text my first girlfriend and ask her out for me. So I get it, dude. There's a lot of guys, especially today in this technology driven era where it's like super difficult to connect. So now you are standing in this place where you're really supporting them as a brother, as a, father figure, so to speak. Maybe they were missing that in their life. And so I really appreciate the work that you're doing, man.
And I want those to, and it's really important, when guys hear this, because there's so much ego involved. There's so much like, think of like, I'm a guy, so I'm just supposed to be good. And if I'm not just good somehow, I don't have it, then I'm not a man. I suck at life. I'm not worthy. And if you're feeling like that, you're thinking this way, it is not you. You're probably a great guy. It has nothing to do with you. It is all a skill set. When you make that click, when you understand that, like martial arts, like mixed martial arts, right? You can say men are tough. We're supposed to, kick ass and, be able to beat up the other guy. Well, yeah, if you know the skill, if you know the technique, right? If you can look at attracting a girl and building relationships, relationships, social circle, friends, women, whatever, in the same regard, you become unstoppable.
Yeah.
And to give you an idea of like really where I came from, okay?
Yeah.
Back in high school, I once did a girl's homework, her math homework, just so I can get a hug. And at the end of it, she didn't hug me. Fast forward, I'm dating a girl. So I had a reputation. I was undateable in my high school for whatever. Like, just no one would date me. We had a foreign exchange student come in, the South African girl.
Yeah.
She dated me because she didn't know any better.
Wow.
And we dated for like a year and a half. And we were saving ourselves for marriage for each other.
Wow.
And at the end of it, she broke up with me. And a month later, lost virginity to another guy after a month.
Wow.
Fast forward, we go to prom night. And I can't find a prom date. I'm undateable in my school. So I go on MySpace. This is how old I am. I go on MySpace and I find a girl who wants to go because she's never been to prom before.
Wow.
I take her to my prom and she ignores me the whole night because she realizes like I'm this loser. Like I just don't know what I'm doing. She ignores me the whole night. And then at the after party, we change into normal clothes and I get the lovely privilege of watching my prom date go into the bathroom and sleep with another guy.
Wow.
And I thought this was it. I thought prom night was I'm going to lose my virginity. The next day, I had to hear in school how that other guy lost his virginity to my prom date.
Dang.
The only thing is, and I use this as a reminder, to this day, I still have the prom dress. That was my one saving grace, is that she left her dress in my car when we changed.
Oh my God.
I have that prom dress. So I never left it. It reminds me of where I came from.
What a prop, bro. What a prop to bring out.
I'm just saying, like, fast forward to college. That was my high school. Fast forward to college. I'm like, I have no friends. I can't find any girls. I decided, I'm going to do what a lot of guys do. I've seen Animal House.
Yeah.
I'm going to join a fraternity. I start paying these guys to be my friends.
Wow.
And halfway through pledging, after they hazed me, I'm kicked out. They're like, I'm the only one who's like, nah, we don't want you. We don't want you. We don't want your money. We don't want you to be in our friend. Like it was like, I don't know how bad, whoever's watching this, how bad you think you might be or how bad, like, trust me, I've been there.
Wow.
I know it was awful.
Damn.
I couldn't make words. So it's 100% a learnable, teachable, understandable skill to build social circle, to attract women, to become more confident, to feel better, wake up every day really loving yourself and knowing that you have at the time, I would call this like a superpower.
Yeah. Dude, so tell me a little bit more about what is the work that you do with the men today? Like what do you do in modern flirting, just to give people an overview who are just meeting you?
So my background, like I said, my background in psychology. I did 7 years of formal psychological training, right? And in grad school, I mixed in, because I knew I was going to do this, so I didn't tell my professors, but I mixed in 3 years of pedagogy, which is the science of teaching. Wow. Because a lot of people know what they're doing out there. There's a lot of great guys. Yeah. Not everybody's the best coach. You actually found one guy I actually really respect and love. He's coming on later on your broadcast, Eric Nonica. Yeah. Great guy. I'm actually doing a workshop with him next month. So
wow,
not in there. So I just saw he was on the show. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. But I really, really believe in a scientific, like actual data-based approach. So I do a lot of cognitive style and behavioral style teaching methods. Yeah. What that means is I will look in every student of mine. I go, how are you thinking on a day-to-day? What is your schema or your framework of the world? How do you, out of your eyes, how do you see things? And we have to go into those thoughts and we have to reframe those thoughts bit by bit, because thoughts become mindsets, mindsets become beliefs, beliefs become your identity, and your identity is what dictates the actions you take. So every thought flows into the kind of actions that are happening. So that's the inside out approach. At the same time, I use behavioral techniques, operant conditioning and whatnot, and classical conditioning to ensure that they're actually changing their behaviors. Like, here's what to do. But it's not just go be yourself and just be confident and just just go do it, right? Like, it's like, here's step by step,
Yes.
15 steps breakdown.
Yeah.
So for instance, you mentioned my book, Psychology of Modern Flirting. I break down 15 rungs of attraction ladder, in my book, a step-by-step guide on exactly how to do this for yourself. And that's the thing I would have killed for, because I did all the hard work. I already created the roadmap, and that was the stuff I had to like. Honestly, my first year trying to get this down, I went out 6 nights a week. Year 2 and 3, I went out maybe 4 nights a week.
Yeah.
And on the 3rd year, I finally got myself a mentor who was like top level and was developing social circle game or social circle influence, which I've never heard about before. And that was so revolutionary to like, wait a minute, we're going to go up and actually befriend girls? I thought we wanted to avoid the friend zone. So it was such a new concept that we created. And when we did that, it just my life exploded.
Well, it sounds like way more fulfilling as well, is like every relationship matters, right? When you're building friendships and also like finding the partner, or finding the person to have fun with and play with and enjoy life with, like whatever stage, whatever level of commitment a guy might be seeking. Maybe he's wanting someone who's serious and wants a committed relationship. Maybe he just wants to have fun. Like, it's so important that we show up to that and really make the best use of everything that comes our way, right? Whatever conversations, whatever people, and not just say, oh, you don't fit necessarily the mold, so I'm going to burn you and say goodbye, but like saying, hey, like, how can we really maximize this social influence like you're talking about?
I've got 2 criteria for a student.
Yeah.
And it's, you have to match 2 things.
Yeah.
Number 1, you have to want to change. You have to want the help. You can't be that's the way the world is, and I'm just, because now you're just self-defeating. So you gotta like, hey, I want this. I will do the work. I'm gonna do whatever's necessary. I will fight for this new life. Okay. Number 2, you have to have a healthy respect for women.
Yeah.
You have to care about them and like them. I don't want to teach guys, like, there's a whole movement out there called like the red pill movement, or the incels, or the MGTOWs, whatever they call themselves now. We're basically just like, screw women. Women suck. They only want money and looks and And I'm just like, you giving up, and just because you haven't figured it out, don't hold everyone else back, okay? Like, don't. Their misery loves company, so they found like this bitter cesspool to like. And anyone who's got a bad, unhealthy relationship towards women, I just don't want to do it, right?
Well, I love it.
But
I love
at the same time,
standings.
These tools used to improve dating life, relationships, marriage, sex life, whatever.
Dude, I love it. It's like you're really standing for the values that you believe in. I think that's one thing that like attracted me in our pre-interview conversation. I was like, yes, dude, because I've seen that the dating scene and the dating game and what's taught there can be really detrimental to the men that are being taught. It's like, are the men being good examples of being a great human being in the world? And oftentimes they're not.
All right, I'm not going to blast any other companies because I'm not going to do that, but like the stuff I've seen is beyond appalling. It's almost downright illegal in a lot of times. Like, stuff I've seen where like they're doing hidden footage of girls, non-consensual footage of cameras in a bedroom that they're showing guys. They're trying to like, they're making it all about like sex, and just they're going, if you haven't slept with over 100 girls, you're not a man. Damn. And like just putting these weird values on them and creating this identity of what's called like a pickup artist, and where your whole identity is, I need to go out and pick up a woman and have sex, and it's literally like, it's like a drug.
Wow.
Because and here's the thing, I fell for this trap for a year or 2 in my 15 years. That was me. Wow. And I know, and that's why I can take guys out of it too, though. Yeah. It's kind of like one of those, I think of myself as like one of those guys who was like in a gang and then got out and tries to get other gang members like out of that life. Because I was in that life for 2 years, and it is like, that is toxic masculinity. You want to go into that? Like, there is nothing more toxic, because like a drug, I would go out looking for a fix, pick up a girl to prove that my validity, my identity, that I can have sex and get a girl to attracted or whatever. And guess what happened immediately as soon as I, picked up this girl? Empty again. Yeah. I have to go and do it again. Yeah. And I got to do it again. I got to get a fix. And it's neurological, on an actual neurological level, it is damaging. Yeah.
Wow.
more than porn.
Jared, this is powerful, man. I think it's like we're really digging into what is going on in in the world of men wanting to get into like great relationships and be great at dating. And I think it's awesome, man. What would you say is the shift that you made to like really start valuing yourself and valuing women more? Like what happened? What did you do there?
There's never like one moment. Like, I would love to make it dramatic and have like a movie moment where it's like this happened, right? But I mean, there's different like paradigm shifts that
Yeah.
I went through.
Mhm.
The first one was the most powerful. Was I read a book that showed how guys were learning this,
Mm.
and it just woke me up. I was like, oh my god, this. So paradigm shift one. This is a skill set.
Mm.
I took
Yeah.
me as a nerd can learn this. And I'm like, I'm good at Magic the Gathering. I'm good at chess. I'm good at games.
Yes.
I can learn stuff. I get A's in class, right? I'm a
Yes.
dork.
Yes.
I was like, I don't know why, but I never thought of social interactions in that way. But once I did,
Yeah.
boom, took off.
Dang.
As far as women goes, here's a big problem that I think women, you know how like, I don't want to get political, but you know how like the left and the right in politics are getting more and more divided?
Yep.
I see the same thing happening with men and women. They're just getting
Yeah.
more
Yep.
and more divided.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's technology. I don't know if it's just, the feminist movement makes more the red pill movement, which gets more of that. Like, it's awful. And the reason is because we're not connecting. We don't know the other side. I came from a place where I didn't know any women.
Mm.
All I knew about anything I knew about women came from reading articles online, what other guys had to say,
Yep.
or my brief glimpses of them in a nightclub.
Mm.
Now imagine if the only understanding you have of women, the only thing you know about them is the way they act in a nightclub or bar scenario. Okay? They're not people anymore.
No.
Like it's very much they're just like girls who want drinks and they're very sexy and they're sex up. Like it's a filter.
Yeah.
So when I made that shift to say, you know what, I'm gonna befriend a lot of these girls, I want to see like behind the scenes in my mind because all of a sudden I'm like, oh my god, like they talk about stuff too, and they, it can be gross sometimes, and women can like be silly and goofy and fun,
Yeah.
and I never knew,
Yeah.
and I think men are so disconnected from women, and vice versa. I coach women as well sometimes and help them understand it from a man's point of view of what's going on, how women can help get guys more committed and actually get married and create dates and stuff. But it's really just like I hear both sides, and I'm like, you guys just don't get it. You're not communicating. You don't know what it's like for her, and she doesn't understand what it's like for the guy at all. It's blind spots.
Wow. So you have the internal work that you take guys through, especially, and you also have the behavioral approach as well. Can we dive into that a little bit more? Like what you see are some sticking points around the type of thoughts that guys might be thinking in terms of the inner work.
Okay, so if we're diving the inner work first, number one, biggest thing is you have to understand, just like as a guy, you want a gorgeous girl, a great girl. Let's just call it a prize. Okay. You want a prize. We want to win. We want to feel like we won the dating pool. Well, guess what? So do women.
That's right.
Exactly the same. They want to feel I won. I got myself a prize.
Yes.
Now, if you don't see yourself as a prize, why the F should she see you as a prize?
Nope.
So that was shift number one. If you truly look at yourself, like to go from a guy who looked at it as, can I have sex from you? And I feel like I'm taking something from you if I have sex with you, to I'm giving you. Yeah, or it's like we're giving each other.
Yes.
But by no means am I taking it. I mean, it's more of a like, you're gonna love it, I'm gonna love it. It's a great time all around, right? But a giving thing and being able to see myself as like, I'm gonna be a prize for you, and I want to know you're a prize for me as well. Like it's this we're awesome frame mentality. So that I am a prize, not in a like I'm better than you way, but as in oh, I know my value and a girl will be lucky to have me. Like that's what it has to come from.
Own it.
Is abundance. I think so many of my guys, and I call it a real big trap, is they'll start learning this and they'll start getting better. And then all of a sudden a hot girl will start showing them interest and they'll grab it like it's a life jacket in the middle of the ocean. Because It's the first time it happened, and it's never happened before, which means it can never happen again, which means you got to go for it. And it's scarcity,
Yeah.
right? It's just pure scarcity. And I'm like, you're not done with your development. And sure enough, they will latch onto this girl just because she's pretty. She might be toxic. She might be bad for him. She might, or she just might not be a good fit.
Right.
Maybe not awful, but then the relationship fails because they didn't actually learn the whole thing. And now they come back crying and they're like, oh, I gotta learn again, and I'm worse than I was. And so that abundance mentality, realizing there's more women now than ever in the history of women. So
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just, there's so many. I mean, I can.
I love it. I love it. I want to touch on that because I think that, especially for me, like when I attracted Petya, my girlfriend, I said, you know, like I know there's a dream woman out there, and I know there's many dream women who could fill that energetic slot of like what I want, what I'm committed to creating, right? So I think if we think that there's one soulmate, or if we, you know, are out at night and we feel this like beautiful chemistry and connection, it's like as soon as we start thinking it's limited and being attached to it, then that's when it like goes downhill. But when we say, hey, I'm just here playing, and for whatever it is, the natural beautiful connection and what's meant to be, whatever is meant to keep growing as a significant, as a real relationship, it will keep going. So like, let's have fun, let's be of service, have fun, learn about this person. And then also what you said about being the prize yourself, like that is freaking key, man.
It is. And most guys, but it's hard for a lot of guys, you know, to start thinking of themselves in this way.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard for them to have another big mindset shift is empathy for women and realizing what they go through and being able to connect with them on a not superficial level. Help just, I mean, like even small stuff, I'm going to not curse here, but even small, which is hard for me, even small stuff like listening, like just shutting up and listening. It can be hard for guys too, because they're so busy trying to impress. That's another thing. So many guys, they try to impress. If you are trying to impress someone constantly, what are you sub-communicating to them? Are you the prize or they're the prize? If you are trying to always impress them, entertain them, let me show you why else I'm cool. Let me show you another reason why I'm cool. What you're doing is telling her you don't think you're cool and you try hard.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's exhausting.
And it's ineffective. It doesn't work. And if it does work, you're going to find yourself like a sugar baby, or you're going to find yourself a girl who just wants you for stuff versus actually valuing you. So it's just there's ineffective techniques, but I don't blame the guy because honestly, they just don't know. And it took me 3 years, and yeah, I'm always learning. I'm always a student of this stuff.
Sure.
Always finding little nuggets and being challenged by, you know, my peers and other guys in this industry. And there's just so much to this, and I truly feel like we just started. This movement happened in the 90s, so this is like new. This is a baby. It's like imagining, you know, the first time someone came up with the idea of martial arts and was like, hey, you know, there's probably like a right way to fight and a wrong way. We should like teach techniques. It's like it's just being developed. So I really hope, it's my dream that I can make modern flirting something that, because there's a whole men almost everywhere I talk to heard about this, they kind of know about this, and there's whole movements and guys out there who are just straight up struggling, but they're too embarrassed to talk about it. There's an ego, you know, about it. Yet the three things we all want in life: health, wealth, relationships. Yeah. Well, I got news for you. Like if you want to get healthy, you can go to a personal trainer, and no stigma, no problem. No one bats an eye, right? And you could get a 6-pack and then become fat again, right? Wealth, you can go find yourself a business coach. You can go take a big Gary Vee seminar, Grant Cardone, you know, the big seminar, whatever, and no one bats an eye. They go, good for you. Good for you improving yourself and bettering yourself and making more money. And you can become a millionaire, and you can lose it all and become bankrupt. The moment you say, hey, I'm going to go find myself a dating mentor, someone who can teach me social skills, relationships, whoa, what is wrong with you? It's like a stick. Well, dude, you don't need that. Just be yourself. What if I gave that advice to business? Oof. I don't know how to sell. I want to learn selling techniques. Just be yourself, bro. How do I grow this business? Be yourself.
Do it on your own. That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Like, how do I get a ripped body? How do I get a really like strong body? Oh, just be confident. It'll happen. Just really be confident. Like, it's ridiculous to me. Yeah. And the best part is, here's the kicker of all three. If you learn the relationships and social skills aspect, Unlike the other two, it can never be taken away.
Wow.
It's one and done.
Wow.
You can learn this in 6 months to maybe a year, which I wish I had me back then because I could have done it a lot sooner.
Yeah.
But you can learn it, and then once you got it down, you're done. Now you can just focus on wealth. You can focus on, having the body you want. You can focus on your relationship, your marriage, your family, your spirituality. Like, you can now breathe and know this area of life is always and forever taken care of. That is just a feeling that you just can't buy anywhere.
Yeah. Plus, there's the residual ripple effect, so to speak, of the stuff that you learn that you teach with your clients, like in relationships to get romance. That also impacts our social lives, our business lives, relationships everywhere. Man, can you talk a little bit more about that and like that social influence?
100%. So social influence goes beyond just relationships. Now, when I really dived into it, I got into persuasion tactics, influence tactics, why we say yes, why we say no, why we choose certain things. Well, guess what? That's sales. You start learning how to become really effective at sales. You become amazing at networking. You're good with people. Now you're networking. You're meeting everybody. I once went just to prove that I could. I went to a crypto convention where the minimum ticket was $500, and I got in for free using my methods.
Yeah.
I got a VIP pass using my methods, got backstage, met all the speakers, and got 15 of the speakers of this crypto convention with millionaires in the room to a private dinner with me. Never came back. I just guy off the street.
Damn.
Just recently, the Super Bowl, I used social influence, my social engineering and all these kind of tactics, and I was able to go party with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Wow.
They came right here in Florida.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Whoever wins the Super Bowl, I don't know who's going to win it. We're going to watch with my friends, and then we are going to hack their after party, and we're going to go party with them. And I have it on my Facebook. And here's the best part. This is the second time I've done that.
Wow.
I did it 10 years ago. Last time they were here in Florida.
Wow.
So it's proven. Again, it's not a one and done. It's not luck. This is skill. This is something that is a teachable, learnable, thing.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't realize. I've been able to, and it helps in all the other areas of life. Right. So I've been able to make amazing business connections. The way I met you was through Social Circle, honestly. Yep. You recommended me. That's how I was able to meet you. My best friend in the world is now also my personal trainer, and I've got a ex-Abercrombie model personal trainer who's taking me out every day for free as much as I want to train to get the body I want. Who's making me every day carry a jug of water around.
Yes, bro. Yes.
Yes. So if you think this is just for dating and getting a girl, you're out of your mind.
Yeah.
This is for building social circles, networking, selling yourself, getting the job interview. This is for feeling good about yourself every day, self-esteem, confidence, being more positive and happy and seeing the world through a better frame. This is about living a lifestyle that previously you only thought rock stars could live. Like when I was in San Diego just a couple months ago, people would pay $5,000 for a table at the #1 nightclub there called Omnia. I had a residential table for me there every Friday night, just wait for free. And I would show up and with 15 girls whenever I wanted. Wow. Just to show I could, just to prove to myself like I could do this. We'd have yacht party. We'd have not yachts, but we'd have like 6 big boats. I don't know what to call them, like big boats, whatever. We tie them together, and we'd have these big wild parties every Sunday. And I'm like telling the guy, guess what? I don't own a boat. I'm not going to spend money on a boat. I'm not spending $5,000 every weekend to have a table, but I have the lifestyle. And at the end of the day, that's what's going to be attractive to women, and that's what guys really want. They want to be able to live that life.
Yeah. Plus, there's the like finding a woman and then keeping her, which you've done for 7 years. You've had your marriage for 7 years. Tell us a little bit more about like what the values are in marriage for you. Why that was important, and what you think like you stand for in your marriage, and just tell us a little bit more about that, man.
Well, I mean, look. I wanted to always keep improving and growing, and I found getting to the point in my life where I wanted to actually grow in the relationship area of things too, and that means taking a plunge, committing, being married. And a lot of guys, it's controversial in the industry of is marriage good or bad. To me, it's neither. It was just it was a decision of, hey, if you want to be with a person, you're going to be with a person, right? So having a skill set to keep a girl is it's very different than learning how to get one. I learned that the hard way. To keep a relationship. So I'll give you the lessons I learned about
Sure.
the relationship aspect. Okay, I can boil it down, really simplify this into two things. If you have a girl right now and you want to keep this girl or guy, honestly, this goes both ways. If you're a girl watching this, you want to keep a guy. It's two things. If the relationship is going well and things are great, appreciation. Make sure you appreciate the shit out of her, and sorry for
You're good. Unleash.
and make sure that she appreciates you.
Yeah.
So I would do things where I go, hey, what are the three things I could do to get some more appreciation? Maybe I don't work that way, right? What are three things that bug you or that irritate you? And I think my wife at the time, she said, you don't clean the bathroom, you don't fold the laundry, you just kind of like stupid stuff.
It's great.
Right?
It's great though. It's great to know.
But I asked, and there's communication, right?
Yeah.
And I started doing these things. Guess what? It went from good to great because now she's appreciating me more. And I would find new ways to appreciate your partner. Now, and I've done this with works and with couples. I've also coached couples as well. And usually they don't come to me when things are going well, so they don't really get the whole appreciation part, right? But they come to me when things are going bad. They're fighting. It's not good. When this is happening, you need to, the key word here is understanding. You have to try, because when there's a fight, it's called, in the psychology world or communications world, it's called a frame battle.
Okay.
Where this person's frame and perspective is battling against this one's, and no one's trying to make things better. They're trying to be right. They're trying to dominate the frame of their partner. So if we flip it and we say, okay, forget about being right. It's not about right or wrong. How about this? What if you just take a moment and understand her point of view? Just play devil's advocate. What is she trying to say? Understand her for a second and help and try to have her understand you. Right? It has to go both ways. We have to try to understand each other. Here's the most powerful question in a relationship and you're fighting that you could ever ask your partner. Okay? And it's going to save you almost every fight. Babe, I want you to help me understand your point of view. Help me understand. I'm here to listen. If you can just quiet yourself down, just stop. Sometimes you've got to be the better person and be the first one to do this and just go, you know what? I'm going to stop trying to prove I'm right. I'm going to stop assuming. Assumption is the worst. Let me just take a second, stop the internal dialogue, stop the anger, push it down, breathe, and just go, okay, I'm here with you, babe. Help me understand your side of things. I want to get it. Just talk to me. I'll listen. I'll shut up. I'll really listen. I'll really try to understand it. And then when I understand her point of view, it helps me communicate so much better and go, oh, I get it now. Either here's what you're missing or here's what I was not understanding. And here's why I was upset. And all of a sudden now you have communication that actually fixes the problem.
Wow. Dude, that's freaking gold, man. I love it. So appreciation is really just recognizing the things that someone is already doing. And that's like a muscle, right? And it can get into
or raising it. Maybe your partner doesn't appreciate you enough. Or maybe you're not doing enough things to be appreciated.
Right.
You gotta step it up.
Yeah.
But I hear stuff all the time in relationships, like it's all about trust, communication, honesty. It's all about, and these are all great.
Yeah.
But I watch every single relationship that's going well. And I'm just like, they appreciate the shit out of each other. Like, I asked the girl, I'm like, so are you happy to be with him? And she goes, oh my God, I'm so lucky to be with him. You would understand. He makes my life so much easier. And I'm like, do you like being with her? She's incredible. Are you kidding me? Like, I've got a catch. Like, I couldn't be like, I'm not getting better than this.
I got the prize.
Yeah, I got my prize. Exactly. So when two people see it, the other person as a prize, that is the single most powerful relationship you can possibly have.
Wow. Dude, this is gold, man. I think this is great, Jared. And I know that there's men and women out there who are benefiting from this. I want to dive even further into this social influence and how we can start building that ourselves, man. Because I know we want to make better friends. We want to have stronger relationships. We want to have more intimacy, more real relationships in our life, man. What can we do to foster that?
You take a modern flirting boot camp and you set up.
Yes.
So join the program.
Yes.
So I mean, look, it depends. There's no one size fits all. What works for me is not going to work for you. What works for you won't work for Johnny and or Timmy or whatever. Okay.
Mhm.
So, but here's the beauty of it. There is a science to this, which means I can teach you what to do, and what we do, what works. So what we do is all the same.
Yeah.
That's the science.
Mhm.
How you go about implementing that, that's your art. That has to be. You have to experiment and find it. Okay. So if I understand your question, you're saying, what are the action steps of things people can do to start getting better at this, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so again, talk about in the book. I basically boiled it down, and so recently, actually, the last 2 years, so pretty recent, I go through phases of psychological discovery, whether it's attraction, whether relationships, social circles, persuasion, influence, social engineering, everything. And lately, entrepreneurship obviously is one of them, but another big one is success. Why some people are successful and other people aren't. And I looked at every aspect: athletes, I looked at spiritual leaders, I looked at businessmen, I looked at just anybody, and by any definition of success, meaning they are the 1% of whatever they're doing, right? So even if it's the most successful janitor, I don't know what that means, but he's just the best at janitorial shit, like whatever, okay? And I looked at every successful person in their field, thinking like, okay, maybe I'll get a gold nugget here, a gold nugget here, like it's all the same. They're all saying the exact same thing. Doesn't matter where you're from. The pickup guys, the seduction guys, the business guys, the spiritual guys, the athletes, the celebrities, it's all the same.
Damn.
And so now I've been diving really in and getting that powerful message of what it means. So I'm creating another company, actually, it's going to be launching, called The Modern Success, where I teach, it goes into that of how to be successful in any area of life that you want.
Damn.
But to go more into, but that's like goes, very deep into it. Awesome. But to very simplify it, 3 things, okay? Number one, and this is really oversimplifying it, but this is just like the bare bones of what you need to do. Step 1 is you have to be able to practice to the point of obsession. We have we associate obsession as a bad word. That guy's obsessed. That's bad, right? You need to live what's it called? Like the middle road. Everything in moderation. You just want moderation. You want to do no. If you want to be successful at something, you have to be laser focused like an MFer.
Yep.
Right? You would really have to practice. Like I said, I went out 6 nights a week for the first year. And the only reason it wasn't 7 is because even God needed a day of rest. Okay. So I just gave myself 6 nights a week. And then year 2 and 3, I went out 4 nights a week. Right. I practiced to the point of obsession. If you're not doing the work, don't expect the results. It's just not going to happen. By itself, though, that does nothing. And I think that's what drives people crazy, because there are guys who practice point of obsession. By itself, it doesn't do anything. Any one of these 3 things, if you do by itself, it's not going to work. If you do any 2 of these 3 things, it'll work, but it'll take like years and years and years. If you do all 3, you'll get it, and it'll make sense when I explain the other 2. So practice is 1, but by itself, this will not autocorrect. That is a myth. That does not happen. The second thing you have to do is experimentation. You've got to be smart. You have to track data. You have to look at the results. You have to see, is this working? Is this not working? You have to run the scientific method, hypothesis, experiment, collect the data, analyze the data, have a conclusion, and redo this again and again and again, okay?
Yep.
So if you're not being smart and actively experimenting and thinking about how to change things, because I see a guy go out a year every day, and he does the exact same thing for a year, and I go, what is the point of that? You already know that doesn't work. What are you doing? So that's number 2. And number 3 is you have to have a mentor. Now, every successful person I've ever met and read about and seen anywhere, all understand this. They all have every athlete has a coach. Every Olympic athlete, the most successful, the gold members, the best in the world, have coaches, have mentors.
Multiple coaches, yeah.
I have multiple mentors. I have business mentors. I have 2 personal training mentors right now, because I was obese, and just in this 1.5 months, I've already started making change in my body.
Wow.
Just because New Year's resolutions. I'm like, guys, I'm gonna get successful at another thing. I'm gonna show you.
Mm.
I got a picture of me like fat as can be. Like almost kind of subconsciously did on purpose. I knew it was coming. I'm like, screw it. Like, let's bring it on. And now I'm going like balls to the wall
Dang.
to get my ideal body now. It's approved, right? But I have like 2 mentors for this.
Dang.
So if you don't have a mentor, so or someone to model after, a guy better than something, right? If it's not me, then somebody else. If not another professional, then at least a friend, like somebody, right? Then it's you don't know what you do. It's a blind leading the blind. You're just going around. Like every great scientist had every scientist before him their workings to go off of, versus I need to discover everything from scratch again. That would be ridiculous, right? So,
it's like that mindset of a man thinking like I shouldn't have to hire a coach, or I shouldn't have to study how to get good at communication and dating and relationships and picking up women, like to be effective at like achieving my goal of having intimate relationships, having like real connected relationships, man. It's like such a myth, such a like bullshit idea that got implanted into our minds. And like I love how you're breaking the stereotype, man. It's freaking, it's rad, Jared.
You know what's crazy? Because you get this, and I get this, and every real successful person in the world gets this. Here's the kicker, though: 99% of the world is not that successful. That's why, like all the mass majority of the world, like 95% of the wealth or whatever, is in the top 1% of people.
Yep.
They get it. They have all the wealth. Like so, and we see that like crazy curve everywhere. Yeah. Right, where like most people are like can run at like 10 miles an hour. I don't know. I'm just making this up. But then like 1% can run at 20 miles an hour, like double it. Like not even, it's just smoking them, right? Yep. So we see this everywhere. 20%, I really believe this, 20% of men get like 80% of the women. Yeah. They know what they're doing. Yep. And that's what makes so many men so bitter, because most men are in that 80% range, right? But here's the thing. Just because we get it, I got to empathize. Like I said, it's like what I just taught and explained. I have to understand the other person. And a big thing I'm getting now and hearing from students or prospects or people is, well, there's YouTube videos. I can learn this on a YouTube video. I could just watch a 15-minute video, or honestly, 5-minute video now. They don't even go that long. And I can just get it. And that's that. I'm like, you're out of your mind. I went out every night for 6. Like, any idea how many years and research, and I had mentors, and I had like, are you am I taking crazy pills? Like, that's like I can be in Olympics by watching YouTube videos. I'll watch YouTube videos on how to do it, and I'll join getting the Olympics. Like, you're out of your mind. And I found a student who thought this way first, and I finally convinced him to take a chance, and he came to me, and we did the work. And then after I got the results, I asked him, like, hey, remember that mindset you had like way back about the whole, like, I'm just going to watch YouTube videos? I'm like, now that you see the other side of it, can you explain it to me? And he had the best analogy I think I've ever heard. He really, this is not from me, this is actually from him. And I'm like, holy shit, I get it. And what he said is, he's like, look, at the time, you realize it's like shears. You realize there's like bushes that you have to cut through and you have to get rid of. So you think, well, I'll just go cut them. So you go to like the 99-cent store and you a little pair of scissors, and you're like, whatever, cutting is, you need the good stuff.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Are you still with me?
Yep, still with you. Scissors. They get scissors from the 99-cent store.
Right. So it's like, so he's like, you don't realize at the time because you're just like, I'm just trying to cut the bushes. But he's like, without the shears, you're trying to cut bushes with like 99-cent scissors you got at the dollar store, but you don't realize it yet. It's just like, there's a problem. I'm sure I could just figure out my own. And what's sad is it costs more dollars. You know, I mean, like the amount of on parking, on booze, on dates, on type of clothes, on like people is. I just, oh my God, I just read there was an exact number. I think it was like people are spending like $21,000 a year altogether on their dating life in different ways, whether on dates, whether on alcohol, whether it's on partying at club entry, whether it's on whatever. They had like this really weird breakdown of like everything guys would spend on $21,000 a year. Damn. And honestly, that's not even the worst of it. To me, money comes, money goes. They can make it up, whatever. Okay. The worst of it is I had a guy who came to my program. He was 42,
Mhm.
and he dabbled, and he kind of did it, he kind of didn't. I have a video of him, explaining his journey and what he went through. And he left the program. He's like, you know what? I want to go travel. I'm gonna go. I want to spend money on traveling, and I want to make money. I want to focus on my business. I want to do other stuff. I'm like, you're not there, buddy. Like, we can nail this down. He goes, no, 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 no. I'll be good. I'll be fine. And he goes and he does exactly that. He makes a lot of money. He goes, he travels the world. He comes back to me 8 years later, and he goes, it was the single biggest regret of my life. And I met 3 amazing girls. I couldn't get any of them. I still feel like a loser. I still feel awful about myself. And now I'm 50. 8 years later, is it too late? So forget the money. He paid 8 years of life. That's what he paid. Because we could have got that down at age 42. All it takes is one good push, and we could have got that down a year. He paid 8 years of life. Tell me this honestly, Chris. What would you pay to gain another 8 years of life?
Dude, it's like priceless.
It's like,
Tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Donald Trump, our president right now, would literally just probably spend billions.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be my age again, to go to age 34, like done. Like here's all my. You can't. It's impossible. Yeah. So to me, that time, that's the biggest currency that's being wasted here. The guys who are like, I'm just gonna watch YouTube videos. I'm gonna go figure it out myself. I'm gonna go do. Best of luck, but you are paying for it, and it's hurting you financially and time-wise.
Yeah. Plus, like the impact, especially just you, right? There's other pickup artists out there, but they're not like you, man. I think the impact that you really do. Okay. the impact that you have though is like whole life versus, hey, let me just teach you some techniques and some persuasion techniques to be good in the field and in the bed and get them into bed. Like, that's great. And like, what is the impact of that long term? What is persuasion. It? Yeah.
I'm going to give you the secrets of the other companies' persuasion techniques. What they use. It's a bunch of guys who are, granted, they're good with women. All right, I've seen it. They actually probably learned it themselves, but they don't care. It's really okay. I'm gonna drop some real truth on you here.
Bring it.
Okay. It's the saddest thing ever. It's really sad, but I'm going to drop and tell you my unique value proposition.
All right.
Not my techniques. It's not the lifestyle. It's not the social circle. It's not anything we discussed so far. My unique value proposition here, what separates is I actually care about the students. And that is the saddest thing ever. I've seen horror stories. Coaches will run away from their students while out with them. They will steal girls off their students. They will get blackout drunk while coaching them. They will just go and take footage of themselves and ignore their students. They don't take the time of day. They'll give the students wrong advice, literally wrong advice, because it's feel good and it's good marketing and it's good and it's salesy. But even though it's actually functionally not true. So for instance, like they'll say, things will like autocorrect, or they'll go, you know what? You can just be an aggro masculine dude and show a lot of sexual intent. Go up to a girl and just be, real sexual intent. They call this the claw. And with the claw, you take really complicated techniques. So like, really focus here. You take your hand and you grab a girl's arm and you pull her towards you as hard as you can. And you go, who are you? And that is the claw. Now, I know it's really amazing persuasion technique. All right. It's top level. Yeah. And you just say, if you have enough sexual intent, aka acting horny, I don't know how this is anything other than being horny, women will flock to you, and guys love it. I've seen standing ovations.
Wow,
that's what's the most troubling thing, because guys don't know any better. Like I said before, when you're a guy who all you know about women is what you read online and clubs, and like you don't know.
Yeah.
So they're taking advantage. They're hurting men out there and messing them up in the head with this sexual intense stuff, and like just go at it, just go crazy with it, and it'll autocorrect, it'll be fine. They're almost like I've seen these guys get blown out, get rejected harshly, where like the girl want to call the bouncer over and be like, get this guy away from me. Girls are like, and they're like high-fiving each other afterwards. They're like, yeah, man, you're fucking confident. You're confident. you're the man, man. And I'm like, are you crazy? Am I taking crazy pills? Like, that was awful. You were destroyed. She hated you. How many approaches are you doing a night? Like, you ain't real unless you're doing 50 approaches in a night. 50, you're getting 50 rejections in a night? And this is good. If I go out, I'm maybe doing 1 to 5 approaches, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much all it takes. Like, but that's because that to me is more measure of success than it's a numbers game, brah. It's a numbers game. And I'm like, it's Chris, it's scary what's out there when you really dive in. And what's scarier is that guys eat it up. That's what is like, that's the worst part of it.
Yeah, well, it's like there's a kind of a helplessness, right? Like I feel like I don't know what to do, or like we're ashamed to even admit that, right? So it's like I think that those types of men, they want to have the best results, they have the best intentions, but then they just don't know like where to look. They don't know where to find people like you until now. So they just like Google how to pick up women, and then they find whatever's out there, and they're like, well, let's look.
Yeah, and that was on. And I'm gonna be real. Like, this is where I really messed up.
Yeah.
My biggest sin in my last 15 years. I hate the lies. I hate the marketing schemes. I hate here's one simple trick that'll get any girl to. I'm about the real stuff.
Yeah.
I'm about the hard work. I'm about the actual techniques. I'm about learning this bit by bit by bit, the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like just the fluff. And so I never really took the time to market myself. I never really took the time to really like get my message out there. I was always just kind of like, whoever comes, until like a year ago, I saw how bad it was getting and the atrocity, where one coach even told me, he goes, you know what your problem is, Jared? You actually care about these Fs. If you stop caring, it'd be way easier. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. Like, and so after that, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Let's go. I'm going to do the marketing. I'm going to blow this up. Not for the money. I really just want to get the message out there and be like, wake up. There's like you said, they don't know.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you know what? It's an evil pill, but I have to swallow it. And I got to market. I got to do all this stuff and put myself out there, because if I don't, then I'm letting down generations of like everybody out there. And I want people to know, if they want the real, stuff, if they want the real stuff, right? And they don't want feel-good advice. They actually want to make a change. It's possible. It's out there. It's tested. It's proven. You just gotta want it bad enough.
Boom, dude, I love it. So you've really put together like a comprehensive program for people. Can you tell us a little bit more about how your program is different than other people's programs?
This is the best part. Okay, so like I said, 3 years in grad school, I studied pedagogy. I studied the way we learn.
That's awesome.
And so you've seen a lot of mentors. I'm sure you've seen a lot of programs. Okay. I'm going to show you all the different levels of how I get what's in my head into my students.
Okay.
One, mastermind, a support system.
Boom.
Even in Eastern philosophy, we have the Buddha, the Sangha, the Dharma. That the Dharma, it means community. Even in any religion, any groups of people, we understand we need support. Yeah. So I have a whole platform called Slack where we exchange information. I'm on there daily. We are asking questions. It is a mastermind 24/7 going on. Okay. Awesome. Number 2, direct access to me. People don't need a coach. You don't need YouTube videos or random information. They need a mentor. They need someone who they can talk to directly. Okay. Number 3, emergency support. If for whatever reason they are freaking out, something big is happening, they can book what's called a 911 call with me, where I will talk to them the way I'm talking to you right now, and we will sit down and figure out whatever that crisis is, and they know they have that that emergency safe net. Okay. Now on top of that, they need weekly instruction. Yep. They need to know every week something's happening. So I do 3 group calls a week. Each group call is 2 hours long. Now you know what they feel like doing. I'm amazed you're doing the 12 hours of this. God bless you. But like I get it, right? So they understand. The only problem is at the end of this every week they're sick of my voice because they're just hearing me nonstop. And I go into macros, I go into the micros, but they're getting nonstop access to me and my coaches, my staff. Now, on top of that, so that's a content and it being explained at weekly level. Right. Let's go to another level, accountability. Every week, they get a one-on-one call to stay accountable, because you can be learning all the greatest information in the world, but if you're not accountable, who gives it? Like, what's the point, right? But here's another level. Some people need to be taught in person. They need that face-to-face time. Every quarter, every 3 months, I host a quarterly retreat where we do exactly that. They can meet me.
Wow.
They can be around me. It's part of the program. It's paid for. And if they can't make it, I live stream the whole thing so they can just watch the whole retreat. And I record it and I put it in the next thing. Now, I thought that was enough. I thought of another level. People are like, you know what? This is so much. It's how do I digest all this information? And I go, I got you. I've created a masterclass on 30 weeks.
Damn.
Every week they learn step-by-step instruction of just focus on this week. Yeah. Here's the information, and here are the practical assignments, the homework assignments you should do this week in order to get this down. So every level from step-by-step instruction, FaceTime, weekly advice, masterminding, accountability, personal mentoring, it's all covered. And it's cheaper than what other guys are doing in my industry. It's cheaper than what they're doing for a boot camp.
Damn.
That's why I said it's not about the money for me. It's sad, but like the thing is, I actually care. So I'm like, just take it. I just want to get everybody good. You've got to like try to fail. That's why I said I only have 2 criteria. I don't care how good you are. I don't care how bad you are. I just care that you have a healthy relationship, respect towards women. Yep. You're not, I'm going to go F them so to get back at it. Like you have to like care. And number 2, you got to want it. Yeah. Because as long as you have that drive, the want, the obsession, then I like to believe in, and the results so far have been proving this. The program is foolproof. Like it's you. Like I said, you have to try to fail. You have to just like not go through it.
Dude, this is fire. I love all the levels and the different modalities that people learn in. I think that's so powerful, man. Remind us who's like the right type of guy. You mentioned you got to have obsession, got to have a drive, the commitment to do it. Is there any other spectrum along the like dating journey or what they want or what's important to them that would make it valuable for them, man?
I mean, my kind of guys, they're like the lovable. You know, maybe they've been dorks in their past, kind of like me, you know, my kind of story. Yep. They've been struggling with this. A lot of guys maybe have been successful in other areas of their life. Okay. Like, I have broke college students in my program, and I've got lawyers and doctors and millionaires, multi-millionaires in my program too. So, like, it really is a wide range. And what it tells me is, as much as I'd love to like niche and go, this is my kind of guy. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's people who want help. And honestly, more even with men. Even women that I brought in. Now with women, I only do one-on-one mentoring. I don't do the whole program thing. Right. I just don't have the structure for it yet, but that's in the works. But I do one-on-one mentoring with the women who are interested, and you know we do calls and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But it's great. It's just people who want to learn and understand this is a skill set. You have to realize that the skill set is teachable, learnable. They also have to have that obsession and desire. Mm-hmm. They also, you know, have to be somebody who is a certain, you know, level of intelligence. Like they're down to track things and think about things and not just be like, you know, like I've had some calls where like I swear to God, people are like stoned or high on the call, and if they're not, then I don't know what's going on. But you got to have a certain level, and also. Yes. You have to have a certain level of respect, not just for women and people, but for yourself. For yourself. Yeah, man. You got to be somebody who's like wake-up call. And sometimes you just have to hit rock bottom before you can start realizing, like, I got to make a change.
Dude, so powerful, man. So how do they get involved in this? How do they contact you, find out more, man?
All right. So here's what I'm going to do. For your guys, you can contact me in a bunch of ways. You can go to my website, modernflirting.com. You could, you could just email me at psych, like short for psychology, PSYCH, psych at modernflirting.com. Really easy. Email me. Here's the best way, honestly, just add me on Facebook. Yep. Modern Jared on Facebook. You can message me directly on Facebook. And whether you message me from my website, you email me, psych at modernflirting.com, or you message me on Facebook, Modern Jared. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do, for your audience, I'm going to give them a bonus here. I'm going to do, can I do that for you guys?
Yes, man. Bring it.
All right. So if you message me and you say the words Chris Burns, you just mentioned Chris Burns, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just give this to you. The Psychology of Modern Flirting. Yours. Done. You're going to just give it to you. I'm going to give you How to Meet Your Dream Girl Tonight. Done. I'm just gonna give it to you. Boom. Say Chris Burns. I'm gonna give you a free strategy session, a free coaching call if you want it. If you don't want it, you don't want it. I'll give you the book, whatever. If you want it and you actually want a free session to kind of get an idea of what I'm about and what we can work together, then as long as you Chris Burns, free.
Boom.
So that's my gift for all your guys, for watching this. Because and that's a way of thank you for letting me be on here and be on your platform. It means the world, and I'm really excited to do this.
Dude, you're a champion, man. Such a great guy, Jared. Like seriously, like I said, the integrity, the values that you bring forth in your mission and what you're doing, man. Like I feel it in my heart. I see you. I am just honoring everything that you're doing and the movement that you're igniting, man.
Feelings mutual, brother. The stuff you're doing right now, I know. When I saw Eric's coming on this later, I was just like, okay, this guy's finding the real deal, like real talent, and you're bringing people from all over, successful people in all areas of life, and that's my passion about. So I love it. I love what you're doing too, and I think it's great when people can mastermind like this.
Love it, man. Dude, so thank you, Jared. Everyone go to www.modernflirting.com, connect with Jared, send him a message, and dude.
I'm on Facebook.
Yes. Yeah, Modern Jared on Facebook. Find him, connect with him. Jared, you're a champion. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. We'll see you soon, okay?
All right. Looking forward.
Take care.